we don't drink enough water. Now, you should have nice, good, clean water, get a good filtered source. But aside from that, we don't get enough water. I learned that I had actually gotten a stomach virus in the summer around Labor Day. And I was it came on slowly, but I was extremely thirsty and I could not drink enough water. So when I started my program to lose weight, one of the things they said was to drink 80 ounces of water. So I did. And I still stayed thirsty. And I started my program on March 17th, and it took 2 solid months. And all of a sudden, I realized I wasn't thirsty anymore. I had got myself so dehydrated that the inside of my mouth I couldn't even hardly talk. I was so dehydrated. Everything was kind of messed up too. I wasn't having enough water. I was having constipation issues. I mean, you really, really do need to drink enough water. So I found a couple tricks that I'll share. Is that if you can drink it in the morning, don't drink it at night because then you go to bed and you have to go to the bathroom. But drink it. Try to drink more in the morning. Then you drink a lot in the morning. So you're walking around. Get a glass jar. Put the ice water in the glass jar. Put that in the refrigerator. It tastes so much better. And then get yourself an insulated glass to pour it in so it stays cold. When it's ice cold, it tastes great. If you need to add lemons or limes, that's also good. I noticed that the sparkling waters were good, but they weren't as quenching as just good old water. I also noticed another trick. So it's really important to use the right salt. I'll get into that in another lesson, in the next lesson about spices. But it's really important to use a pink Himalayan salt or the real Utah salt. And, a grinder's even better. Don't get the bleach stuff, the Morton salt. Throw that out. That's not even good for you. So what you do is you put a tiny, tiny crank in the bottom of your glass. I mean, so small you don't taste it. Pour that ice cold water in. If you feel like you're drinking so much water that it's making you go to the bathroom, and I feel sloshy, what that means is your body isn't absorbing enough. And it isn't absorbing enough because you need electrolytes. And remember what I told you, in the summer I had that stomach virus and I never recovered from it. I had Gatorades and all kinds of stuff, but I never really recovered from it. So a safer way to get electrolytes, or better, I'm saying safer because Gatorade is fine, but it's loaded with sugar. And you don't want that kind of sugar. That's not even good sugar. So if you just do a little bit of the salt, this healthy salt, what it does is it allows your body to absorb that water so it stays and you don't feel sloshy. And that's what happened. And I finally started being able to quench my thirst and fill up and not be so dehydrated. It took 2 solid months to get that way. So it's a really good habit to drink enough water. There was a time when I used to set an alarm, make sure you're getting a good 64 ounces at a minimum. Think about those water bottles that, of course, they're probably, they're not good for the environment, but the nice water bottles you get, figure out the math on that. That's another trick that I do. I wrote my initials on it, set them out in the refrigerator in the morning, and I figured out that if they were 12 ounces each, I needed to, drink 7 of them to get up to my 80 ounces. And so I would just load those up and I would just keep checking during the day, trying to make sure I had more of them on the, around breakfast and around lunch and some for dinner, but don't get yourself in a position where you have to drink 8 of those things at night. You'll never sleep. You'll be up going to the bathroom. So work on yourself. If you're anything like me, it's a really bad habit not to drink enough water, but you do need the water. So drink enough water. It makes everything work like it's supposed to.